Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 4 of the Simability Racing League here live on YouTube on the JP Broadcasting Network. It is All-Star Challenge race number 1. We are here at Five Flags Motor Speedway in the SK Modifieds, and it is going to be a fantastic race tonight. 125 laps the distance for these guys. And it is going to push all of them to their limits. We're used to doing 100-lap races, and now we're doing 125 laps. And the whole All-Star Challenge Series, we got 4 races, and the highest finisher with the highest points on all 4 races is going to win $100 in cash. So these guys going for money tonight. Gotta finish as high as you can. Every position is a point, so these guys are going to make it happen. Let's take a look at the information for Five Flags Motor Speedway. Right now, 69 degrees Fahrenheit, so a nice warm summer day. It is cooling off just a little bit, so we should see that in the track. And with 125 laps, we are going to see a bunch of rubber laid down on this track, and the track will change quite a bit throughout the evening. Currently on top of the board is Don Koneman. And it looks like he's in the pits. Third place, Travis Zunema. Got a little bit more green on that car this evening. He's running a pretty decent pace so far right now. His best lap was 16:07. Koneman with the fastest lap on track so far with a 15.86. So pretty close, the distance between these guys. I'm seeing a lot of very, very close intervals. Guessing the draft may have a little bit to do with that. We will be sure to take a look. Got to give a big shout out to Don Koneman and Swagger Inn there in Wisconsin for allowing Don to run my paint scheme. I haven't been able to race these guys because I'm up in the broadcast booth, so Koneman is out there running my paint scheme for these All-Star Challenge races. And he is on his roof scratching it up nice and good. So that's good to see. Looks like we got a few new faces in the race here tonight. Harrison Chandler in the number 29 machine. He's 5th quick on the board right now. Right behind Billy Wise, who's 4th quick of that number 32 machine. Jacob Van here on track with us in het number 15. He's currently 10th quick. He's got a couple wins here in Simability, and he's shown very quick. So still adjusting to this modified. It is a pretty hard track to really get the feel of, so he's checking that out right now. A minute and a half left of practice, and we've got 16 drivers ready to do some battle. Steven Kiefer in his number 22 machine currently sitting P12 on the board right now, and he is going to head on into the pits. Bobby Wise out here. He's running in front of our reigning champion, Tom Johnson, the 23 there behind. But that number 14, Bobby Wise. 3 Wise drivers in here this evening. So you got to pay attention to the first letter on the board, because you'll see a B Wise, another B Wise, and then a T Wise, and usually the B Wise that's further up towards the top is Billy Wise in that number 32 machine. He is currently in the pits right now, but he is 4th quick. Only looks like about a 10th behind Koneman, who is out front right now. Chris Robert's in that number 98 Hot Wheels powered machine is currently in 2nd place, and it looks like with 30 seconds left to go in practice, he is going to take that spot and hold on to it. I don't think he's going to be able to get Koneman coming out of this last corner. Very tough to beat Don Koneman in these modifieds, and he has been proving that over the last couple weeks. We do run open setups, and these guys go through and they build a setup for it to be a fixed setup. So it's an open setup, but they go through and they build them. So It's not just a generic iRacing setup, but they do run the fixed. And that is going to be the end of practice. And we're going to get ready to go qualifying. And let's see if we can take a ride with Don Koneman here. Doing a little burnout there in the pits, we can see. Trying to get them tires warmed up for a good, fast qualifying run. And we'll take you around the lap with Koneman in that number 97. In the trees above, lawns below powered machine tonight. Green flag in the air for his first of 2 qualifying laps. Doesn't get off the gas that much. It's a very line and momentum driven track. Turn 4 here is really tricky. Getting on the gas a little too hard. Koneman's going to jump to the top of the 16.243. Can he better it? Billy Wise currently second place. Koneman tops it out. Billy Wise 3/10 off Koneman's pace. So what a drive. Look at that. Koneman up on top of the board. So far, there's still a few more drivers that are going to have to go through possibly and do a lap. I only see 9 drivers out there so far. We have 16 drivers in the field tonight. So a few more people could possibly knock Koneman off the top. But right now it's time, ladies and gentlemen. Please remove your caps. And we are going to salute our national anthem. Big shout out to that rendition of the national anthem provided by one and only Billy Wise in that number 32 machine. Laying it down on the piano and the guitar. Pretty awesome stuff. Got to give a big shout out to Simability.com. They are the whole reason we do this. If you are looking to get into sim racing and you're not sure how, and you have some disabilities that are making it to where you can't really use regular sim products, go to Simability.com. Glenn over there is absolutely amazing. He makes quality stuff that lasts for long periods of time. Billy's using a wheel he's had for 8 years, I think he said now, and he's barely had to do anything to it. absolutely awesome products at simability.com. They make sim racing possible, and then you can come out and join the Simability Racing League and come racing with all of these guys who are getting ready to go race 125 laps here at Five Flags Motor Speedway. And the race is about to be on, ladies and gentlemen. Don Koneman starting on the pole for this evening. And Harrison Chandler in the number 29 is going to take his outside with him. That's a pretty awesome run for a driver just now coming into the league. So Harrison Chandler starting on the outside of Don Koneman. Billy Wise going to start inside row number 2 with Tom Johnson starting to his outside. Johnny Berardi going to start inside row number 3 with Dalton Brown. And that number 33 machine starting his outside in 6th place. Stephen Kiefer in that number 22 is going to be starting inside row number 7. Or sorry, in 7. But Bobby Wise taking 8th place on the outside there. Nice job. Ronald Lyons in 9th. Thomas Wise 10th. Chris Roberts, Daniel Cook, Travis Zudema, Jacob Van Thugnuts, as he is called. Brian Lowhead did not qualify. So 125 laps. Lights are off on the pace car. Don Koneman's going to lead the way with a newcomer, Harrison Chandler, to his outside. 16 drivers ready to do battle for the All-Star Challenge race number 1 for the Simability Racing League. Pace car is pulling off. The green flag is in the air. We're racing here at Five Flags. Koneman and Chandler side by side as they cross the stripe. Billy Wise doing everything he can to stick his nose inside. Oh, and Koneman goes around. That's going to be our first caution. All the way to the bottom. Koneman, multiple car incident. Oh, Zudema involved. Looks like Cook is involved. Wise is involved. Oh, and Zudema just can't get that car straight. Let's see what happened there. Oh, my goodness. It looked like it all started with Don Koneman. Oh, it looks like he just got a little bit loose. 29 gave him some space, and he just kind of came up, and everybody started piling into the back of each other. Oh, that's so rough. What happened to Travis Zudema? And then that number 90 machine. Let's see what happened to Zudema. Checking up all in front of him. It looks, oh, he tried to get off, and the 15 gets into the back of him, so he gets by the wreck, but people didn't check out right in front of him, and that caused a whole bunch of ruckus. Now Koneman all the way down in 14th position to start this race, and we haven't even gotten a lap under green. Billy Wise now up front. Tom Johnson in second, and Harrison Chandler in the number 29 machine running in that 3rd position. Well, wow, what a start. Definitely didn't want to hear that or see that for Don Koneman starting on the pole. And it was all a big mistake on him. Couldn't see if he got the apron or if it was just cold tires. But they jumped out and bit him, and now he's got a little bit of work to do, being shown back in 12th position. Looks like we got Nate Cotilla hanging out with us in the chat room. One of our usual drivers is taking a season or 2 off. We've all been wondering when he's going to come back racing, but looks like he's here enjoying the broadcast for the All-Star Challenge race number 1. And what a treat we have for these All-Star Challenge races. 4 different events. And we will get into that coming at the next caution, but them lights are off in the pace car. These guys are actually getting ready to go back racing. Billy Wise is going to have control of the restart, but Tom Johnson, Mr. Consistency in that number 23, knows how to get it done on the outside, and Billy gets a little bit of a jump on him. It looks like Harrison Chandler is actually going to go and try to challenge Johnson for the bottom. Someone stopped down on the apron. Looks like we're all getting through pretty well. Some side-by-side race in action. Chris Robert is working on Steven Kiefer. He's going to get by him. Billy Wise up front right now. Harrison Chandler all over his tail. And Tom Johnson's going to fall in behind. And Chandler's going to try to make a move. Billy Wise going to let him go. It's early in the race. Move Harrison Chandler up to front. The number 29 going to lead his first lap in the Simability League. Chris Robert's really trying to move up right now, working on a number 33 of Dalton Brown. Robert's up 6 positions from where he started, and he is only moving forward. Oh, and there's a big wreck, and he's right in the middle of it. Looks like, oh, Andrew Smith might have been involved, Steven Kiefer involved. Oh, and let's go back and see what happened there, because that was horrible. It looks like it was a Daniel Cook incident. The number 11, that purple machine. Looks like he gets loose off turn number 4. Comes back up onto the racetrack, tries to keep it going. He's definitely smoking. He's going to have some cars coming up behind him. Gets in the grass, hits the wall, and comes out in front of Chris Roberts. And that just causes a chain reaction. So there is caution flag number 2. And we have 11 laps completed out of 125. Back to our All-Star Challenge. We are currently here February 1st at 5 Flags. Our second All-Star Challenge race is going to be March 8th at Martinsville. And Martinsville and 5 Flags, 2 totally different tracks. It's really going to test these drivers' abilities. The next All-Star Challenge race is going to be at Richmond a month later. And then we will finish our All-Star Challenge series at the Bull Ring on the 10th of May. So 4 races. The best finishing drivers with the average points highest at the end is going to win $100, courtesy of Mr. Technicality on YouTube. And these drivers all very hungry for this win. And plus, we have a lot of racing left to go for our regular season. This is a regular season race. Just add the All-Star Challenge on top of it, an extra 25 laps. Really push the attrition of these drivers and their 4 fast repairs that they do get. Don Koneman, we showed him starting in 12th. He's got himself up to 7th position. And I believe that's going to be our 1 to go signal, getting these drivers ready to go back racing. It's going to be 15 laps complete, 110 laps to go when we go back racing. Looks like Daniel Cook in the 11 is already being shown out of the race. But pace car pulls off, and Chandler on the loud pedal really quick. Tom Johnson already passed Billy Wise. Now he's got to deal with Brian Lowhead to the inside as Brian Lowhead moves up into 3rd position. Wise going way wide, and there's Koneman trying to follow Lowhead right around. Move Koneman up, and Koneman gets loose again. Koneman into the wall. Another caution with Don Koneman going right to the pits. What just happened there? Take a ride with Koneman. Looks like he just gets a little bit loose, tries to hang on and just can't. Oh man. So tough. That number 97 machine. As we are under caution one more time at 5 flags. We're not even really able to get any action in. It's been very much green, yellow. But look at Brian Lowhead, the number 24 machine, up 11 places from where he started the race, making moves very, very early on. Jacob Van in his number 15 Simability machine, that Van Motorsports car, he's got himself up 9 positions from where he started. I do not believe he actually took a qualifying lap, or if he did, he possibly tapped the wall or possibly the grass and got himself an incident, which invalidated his lap. But either way, started at the back of the field and is now up to 6th position after these 3 cautions. And he is definitely trying to work his way towards the front. He's very, very fast. He's out in front of Koneman now with that incident. Koneman looks like he's either on pit road or out of the session completely. And if that's the case, he's gonna lose more lead towards Tom Johnson, who's currently 2nd place on the racetrack. So Johnson just gaining more and more points on Koneman if Koneman actually is out of this race for the race. I believe that's going to double them up. Lights are off on the pace car. Harrison Chandler in the number 29. New to Simability here. Going to take the restart with Tom Johnson on the outside. Brian Lowhead in 3rd. And Billy Wise hanging out in 4th position. Your winner last week. Really going to try to make it 2 in a row. But he's trying to keep it in one piece. You see they're getting kind of crazy. Chandler gets on the loud pedal, leaves Johnson to the outside. Now Lowhead going to be looking to the inside of Johnson into turn number 1. Lowhead's going to get that spot. Billy Wise now under pressure from Jacob Van. Van going to move, but now Johnny Berardi going to try to stick his nose in. Outside is not where you want to be. I thought I heard some spinning. Oh, and Berardi puts Dalton Brown into the wall. He keeps it straight, but oh, he's not going to be happy about that one. Dalton Brown dives to the inside of Berardi, and he's going to take that spot. And you see that easy cut over. He lets him know he wasn't a big fan of it. Brian Lowhead's got a bumper full of Tom Johnson. Johnson's going to go to the inside on Lowhead through the corner. And coming out of turn number 4, Tom Johnson's going to move up to 2nd, but Harrison Chandler's got almost a 1.5-second gap over top of Johnson now. Just going to make things very, very difficult. Dalton Brown trying to make his way up. He's going to look to the inside of Billy Wise. This is a battle for 5th position. Give that one to Dalton Brown and then number 33 machine. Johnny Berardi hanging in there in 7th position. Ronald Lyons looks like he's falling back just a little bit. A few cars getting by. Not quite familiar with this SK Modified quite yet as he falls a little bit further and further back. And Jacob Van now coming under pressure from Dalton Brown. Brown all over the back bumper. Two cars that have kind of the same color scheme but are definitely not teammates. You see Dalton Brown really trying to work on Van as he gets the inside all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. That's going to be a real tight entry into turn number 1. He stays side by side, and these guys are doing some great battling as Dalton Brown now gets by Jacob Van. That's 4th place. Van not going to let it go, but Brown going to be trying to look to take on Brian Lowhead now. As you see, Lowhead just over half a second ahead. All the drivers starting to space out now just a little bit. 32 laps on the board. Just over 90 more laps to go. And we're starting to get a little bit here. These guys, the closest battle on the racetrack right now. Actually, as I say that, Travis Zudema coming from the back of the field after that first wreck, trying to make some moves. He's right on Johnny Berardi's tail, letting him know that he's there. He actually looks to the outside like he's going to try to make moves on the outside. It's going to be very, very difficult to do here at Five Flags. You can carry so much momentum. It can be done. Little battle between Thomas Wise. Chris Roberts almost gets into Wise. He's got to back way out. Chris Roberts currently a lap down. But Brian Lowhead now starting to feel the pressure from Dalton Brown. Brown still has Van a half a second behind, but he's put a little bit of a gap. Enough to start working on Lowhead. Lowhead using the blocking line, going to drive the inside, but that's going to make him wash up the track. And that's going to give Dalton Brown the inside on the exit. He's not going to have enough coming out of turn 4. Here's some car getting into wall there, but Dalton Brown doing everything he can to try to get by Brian Lowhead, currently in 3rd position. Lowhead doing everything he can to try to keep Brown back. Lowhead doing a great job holding Dalton Brown. Brown running wide coming out of 3. These guys now starting to catch Tom Johnson in the number 23. Harrison Chandler out front, almost 3 seconds the gap over top of Johnson in 2nd. And Lowhead and Brown 3rd and 4th here. And Jacob Van falling back. Not sure if he got into the wall. What happened? He loses a couple spots and a bunch of time. And now Billy Wise under fire from Travis Zudema. Zudema coming from the back. He's going to look to the inside of Billy Wise going down the front stretch. Wise going to give up that position. Move Wise back to 6th position now. Wise just trying to hold on to those tires and see what he can do. Dalton Brown still all over Brian Lowhead for 3rd position. And as these guys start to try to get into a good green flag run, you see Dalton Brown lose just a little bit of time on Lowhead there. And Johnny Berardi and Bobby Wise sideways caution flag. Looks like it just spins it and he pulls out in front of Ronald Lyons. And that's going to be another caution there on lap number 44. Let's see what happened to Bobby Wise here. I believe he was just on his own trying to avoid Stephen Kiefer. Then he gets on that apron, and you get on that apron, he's going to lose it. Kiefer makes contact, and he pulls down in front of Lyons, and that's going to hurt the 86. It doesn't look like anybody else there involved in that one. Harrison Chandler, your leader, going to be coming down pit road and getting some tires. We'll see if it makes a difference. That's going to move. Looks like Tom Johnson, or yeah, it looks like that's going to move Tom Johnson in the number 23 machine into the lead. Don Koneman Gonna try to get a lap back here. Possibly get a wave around point. So Koneman currently 16 laps down. So serious issues with that car. Must have forgot to check a fast repair or something. But he's back with us. He's quite a few laps down. But good to see that number 97 back and running. We see a few more drivers coming down pit lane. Travis Zudema, Robert Wise. Looks like Ronald Lyons is in the pits as well. And Billy Wise looks like he was coming out from the service of his pit crew. Currently being shown 7th on the scoreboard. Look at Brian Lowhead currently running 2nd place, the number 24 machine. It looks like we got more takers down pit road as well. Brian Lowhead up 12 positions from where he started, and I'm kind of worried about Johnson and Lowhead now. If Chandler there and everybody behind Chandler has gone to the pit lane, which they have, Johnson and Lowhead there, 2 in the front. The only 2 drivers that have not come down pit lane in this race. I have a feeling these 2 are really going to have to hold on pretty good to this front line to hope that Chandler, Brown, Wise, Zudema, Van, they all don't get by, because they're going to be pretty quick. Fresh rubber on lap number 48. Almost 50 laps complete. "77 laps to go once we take the stripe." And Tom Johnson on the loud pedal. Green flag back in the air. We're back racing here at Five Flags. Harrison Chandler makes a quick move down to the inside. Can he get to Johnson on them cold tires? You really got to watch out and make sure you don't have issues. He's going to look to the inside. Sounds like we still got a car stuck on the pits. Big, close racing between Zudema and everybody else here. Johnson on the outside. Chandler goes to the inside. Can he make it work? Johnson goes way wide through 3 and 4, and that's going to give it to Chandler. More battles back here. Jacob Van right behind Billy Wise. Harrison Chandler not getting too far away from Tom Johnson up in the front. But if I'm not mistaken, that's Stephen Kiefer, the number 22, trying to race to get a lap back. He's currently being shown 10th, so looks like we're having a live timing possible problem, but he's being shown in 10th, but he is like 4th on track, so I'm not sure exactly what is going on there. So he's got Dalton Brown right here in 4th, so I believe Stephen Kiefer is going to be a lap down there. Tom Johnson under fire from Lowhead as Chandler starts to creep away, almost a second over top of Johnson and Lowhead here. And Travis Zudema making moves very, very fast through the field. Zudema up to 5th place, looking at Dalton Brown for 4th. And he is all over his bumper with them fresh rubbers. I know Zudema would love to get a win here at Five Flags. It's been a while since we've seen that number 90 machine in victory lane, though he's had some speed in the last few races. He just hasn't been able to close with the incidents on track and getting caught up with a couple problems, and he's doing a pretty decent job currently running in 5th right behind Dalton Brown and Brian Lowhead. So he is right there in the mix for a top podium spot. He's just got to keep it going. for another 68 laps. Oh, as Robert Wise almost has a problem with Billy Wise. Billy Wise has to way get off the gas. And now Zudema gets by Brown. Zudema move him up to 4th, and now he's setting his sights on Brian Lowhead. Two totally different lines, and you can see Tom Johnson up there in front, currently 2nd place. Can Zudema get inside Lowhead? He's going to look to the inside. Turn number 1. Lowhead goes way high. Move Travis Zudema up to P3. And now Lowhead under fire from Dalton Brown and Billy Wise. Wise with that fresh rubber would love to get up front. Currently just running 6th place at the moment. Battle is right here between Dalton Brown and Brian Lowhead. Lowhead trying to hold on as much as he can there in 4th position. Runs a little high coming out of 2. That's going to give Brown a run into 3. Brown can't do anything with it. We got a car spinning in behind. Caution flag is out. And a big spin off. I believe that might have been Ronald Lyons, pardon. Gets on that apron. Spins out. And not sure if there's any other incident. I've seen more incidents, so something happened with Johnny Berardi. Oh, and it looks like, oh, Jacob Van had an incident past them. Looks like Kiefer gets a little loose, bumps the number 15, and Berardi T-bones him, sends him flying. Oh, wow. That was much more than what we expected to see under that caution. But look who's got the lead. The number 90, Travis Zudema, out front. Dalton Brown 2nd, and Billy Wise up to 3rd. What a change of events. Few drivers taking pit stops again. Looks like Harrison Chandler was just in the pits as well as Chris Roberts, Tom Johnson. Trying to get some fresh set of rubber. 20 laps it's been since they stopped, so it's not totally ludicrous to think that some new rubber might be able to get them an edge, but we're still only halfway through. This is halfway this time by, so I don't see us having a tire problem. They might have to stop one more time, maybe stop with 50 laps to go, but I think if you can drive your car right and you don't overdrive it, if you get those tires with 50 to go and someone gets tires with 20 to go, I think you can still hold them off with the tires you've got with them 30-lap-old tires. So I don't think right now tire strategy is a big thing. I think it's more of a comfortability thing for these drivers, so that way they're not having stability issues or feeling like they might lose it or feeling like they might wreck it while they're in a good position. But these cars are built to run with these tires for a good 80 laps. So getting tires right now isn't totally beneficial. The track position being out front, where Travis and Dalton Brown and Billy Wise are at right now, is going to be crucial. And it looks like Thomas Wise, the number 3, has got himself up to 4th, but he's falling back. But we're getting ready to go back racing here. Travis Zudema going to have the start. Dalton Brown, Billy Wise, Harrison Chandler. And they didn't get a very good start there, but Travis Zudema on the loud pedal. He gets a great jump on Billy Wise and Dalton Brown. Billy Wise is going to move up into 2nd. Harrison Chandler going to take 3rd from Dalton Brown. So a horrible start. It looks like Chris Robert's got his way up to 5th position now. And a caution flag back on the Speedway once again. This time it looks like it's Jacob Van. Going 3 wide into turn number 1. Brian Lowe had Thomas Wise. And he just gets loose all by himself. And someone plowed right into him. I didn't really see who that was. Well, there it is. Jacob Van spinning out all on his own, causing another caution. And that's going to bring us to lap number 75. We're almost at 50 to go. So maybe that's what those guys were thinking, getting their tires on this most previous caution is, hey, I can make it to the end and I don't have to worry. Travis Zunema, on the other hand, he hasn't stopped since lap number 45. It's going to give him 80 laps on his tires, which is going to be somewhat of a stretch, I'm having to think. Unless he's really conserving and being nice, but getting up to the front there, I don't see him conserving all that much. Yeah, we actually have 3 different Wise guys on the racetrack. You'll see on some of these guys' cars, they've got the Wise guys. That is a band that Billy Wise in the number 32 machine is in, but we've got Billy Wise, who made our national anthem and kind of runs our series. And then we've got Thomas Wise in the number 3 machine. That is his dad. And then Bobby Wise in that number 14 machine is a brother. So yes, 3 family members all coming here to race together. And that's what it is here at Simability Racing League. We're like one big family. It's like one big therapy session when we come out racing on Wednesday nights. We all get in a group chat together and hang out. It's not, everybody in their own car. We hang out in the group chat, and everybody gets to have a good time and talk. And sometimes the action in the chat is a little hotter than what it is on track. But tonight, everything is getting spiced up. Koneman down in 15th position, Van down in 13th, and we've got Zudema, Brown, and Lowhead up in the top 10. So everything kind of getting switched around from what we're used to. And Travis Zunema going to try to get a jump like he did on the last one as he comes to the stripe. Green flag in the air. 75 laps complete. 50 more laps to go here at 5 flags. Harrison Chandler gets a good jump on Billy Wise. And Chris Robert's in that number 98. Don't count that Hot Wheels machine out. He is very, very quick. As you see him working on Dalton Brown for that 4th position. Tom Johnson going to stick his nose in there with Brown as well. And Lowhead right behind him, so don't want to get too loose, but Tom Johnson going to move up into 5th position and knock Dalton Brown down just a little bit. Zunema pulling away from Chandler and Billy Wise. 1, 2, 3 on the track. Gaining a little bit on Chris Roberge. Not sure if the draft is helping the drivers out in front or not, but Tom Johnson and Dalton Brown back battling. Brown trying to get back to the inside of Tom Johnson. Not going to be able to do it. I think Johnson's going to have the superior line through the corner. Brown just a little bit more on the high side on his entry. It looks like Harrison Chandler starting to catch our leader. Travis Zudema, he's running a little high for what Chandler is. That's going to allow the 29 to catch up to that 90s back bumper. Zudema's just got to run his line and be smart. Try to protect that inside line at all costs. And make sure you get a good run coming out of these corners, because that's going to be it. You see the 29 coming in high and coming out low. He's trying to get a good run on the 90 coming out of the corner. We'll see if he can get it done. These guys all within a tenth of each other now. So very, very close racing. Chandler runs a little bit high. Billy Wise watching it all from his in-car camera. Running in third place. He's got a second back to Chris Roberts, so no pressure from behind. Just watching these two, and if they make a mistake, he might have the chance of getting out in front of this thing. And with the laps winding down, that might not be such a bad idea for the number 32 machine. Harrison Chandler looks like he's giving it all he's got. Chandler on 20 lap newer tires and still is not gaining on Zunema as much as you think he would. Zunema just has to know that he's staying in front of him, and to kind of conserve those older tires. Chandler's not really conserving, so he can really wear those rubbers off trying to get around Zunema. As long as Zunema doesn't wear those tires down to too much. It looks like they are coming up on a little bit of lap traffic, though. Coming up fairly soon. That could cause a little bit and allow Billy Wise to get a little bit closer, but as these two battle up here, Chris Roberts is slowly starting to creep in on Billy Wise. He's broke the 1 second gap, now down to 9/10 of a second. So he is gaining on Billy. Billy is going to have to do something, but Billy keeping between a half a second or so between him and these front two drivers. So here you see the lap car there, I believe, of Ronald Lyons. Going to be in front of the leaders, and Chandler gets really, really close to Travis Zunema. You really got to watch where you stick it in there, because you put it in there, and that driver might come down, and he's going to take your nose off, and you're going to send him spinning. It looks like Lyons moves to the outside. It allows these two to keep battling. 90 laps complete, 35 laps to go. Travis Zunema out front, Harrison Chandler in second, Billy Wise third, Chris Roberts fourth, and Tom Johnson rounds out your top five. Travis Zunema currently going to get the point for the most positions gained, 12 positions up from his starting spot at the moment. And he is in a very, very good position. We got a little battle going on. Thomas Wise getting passed by a few drivers, going a little faster than him at the moment. Not too much going there, just a little bit of lap traffic. Harrison Chandler still all over the back of Travis Zunema. Can he get it done? Billy Wise loses a 10th on them. And Chris Roberts is backwards in turn number 4. That's going to be another caution here on lap number 95. And that's going to give us a very, very short stint at the end. Who's all going to come in for pits and get some tires for the last 30 laps of the race? See what happened with Roberts running all on his own. Gets down and he just gets that apron and tries to hold it down and keep it, but wasn't able to get it done. So Travis Zunema out front. Who are we going to have come for pit stops? Harrison Chandler almost goes in. Wise almost goes in. Zunema stays out. Will we get any takers further back in the field? Looks like everybody going to try to keep their track position. See Andrew Smith right there. Currently 10th position. He's getting a lucky dog right there, so he's going to get that point towards the championship for the lucky dog that we do give out for iRacing giving lucky dogs. So he's going to get that point, get himself, I think, back on the lead lap. And we are going to have about I believe, a 25 lap showdown here at the end for round number 4 in our All-Star Challenge race. number 1. And Zunema has got himself in the best position he can get himself in. Cautions breed cautions. And with only 25 laps to go, we do have one chance at a green-white checker if we can't get it done here under green flag. But cautions breed cautions. And with the Simability Racing League, if you're out front with 20 to 30 laps to go, you can almost bet if there's a caution, there's probably going to be another one. I don't see us going the full 25 laps under green. They could blow my mind to get it done, but Zunema, all he's got to do is hold on for one person in the back to get overly anxious, bump somebody, caution flag, relax, get settled, get back in your mindset. So Travis Zunema in a great chance, in a great position to win this race right now, as I believe we're going to come to the 1 to go signal, which will make them complete lap number 100 as they come across the stripe to get the green flag. And it is, the lights are off on the pace car, so it's going to be a 25 lap shootout for the end of All-Star Challenge race number 1. Cars coming out of the pits with last minute tire stops. Travis Zunema, Harrison Chandler, Billy Wise, Tom Johnson, Dalton Brown, and Brian Lowhead, your top 6. You ever reach down and pull them seatbelts tight one more time, because it's about to get crazy here. Pace car's off. Green flag is in the air. We're side-by-side racing, and Harrison Chandler jumps to start on Travis Zunema. Side-by-side into turn number 1. Billy Wise sitting there in third. He's going to try to look to the inside of the 29. Not going to be able to do it. Zunema's going to have the lead coming out of turn number 4. Tom Johnson in the back there. Oh, and we got to go back up front. Chandler looking all over the place. Can Chandler get by Zunema? 2 or 3 heat cycles on these tires since the last time they pit, so it might have equalized everything out. Very, very close single file racing all throughout this racetrack, and this is where the battle's at. 1/10 of a second separating your leaders, Travis Zunema and Harrison Chandler, the newcomer. Zunema goes line, coming out of 2. That's going to open it up the door for Chandler. He's going to dive down into 3, and Zunema's going to run wide one more time. Side by side coming out of turn number 4. Zunema's going to do everything he can on that high side, but he's really got to watch them tires. Side by side through 3 and 4. Zunema trying to hold him down to the inside. 20 more laps to go. Side by side for the lead. Zunema really needs to let go of that high side, and he needs to try to get below that number 29 machine, but he's going to keep battling on the outside. Great job by Zunema. That's going to allow Billy Wise to catch up to these guys. And Billy Wise just waiting. And now you see Zunema. He goes to look low. Chandler blocks. Zunema goes to the outside. That's going to make Chandler slow through the corner. Zunema all over his tail. Zunema backing off a little bit as he sees the number 29 machine getting a little reckless. He's got pressure from Billy Wise on his tail, and Tom Johnson currently running 4th at the moment. I think Zunema might have the speed over the number 29 machine. The 29 just doing a lot of blocking moves. Gonna try to make Zunema take it on the outside as you see him all the way down in the middle of the racetrack before he enters the corner. If Zunema can get a good crossover on him, he could make it happen, but he's got Billy Wise all over his tail. Travis Zunema trying very, very hard. 15 laps the distance, now 14 more laps to go. Very, very close between the top 5 up here, and we got lap traffic that's going to make it an issue. All these guys running single file. That lap traffic is going to open up a door for someone, depending on where they catch him at. Dalton Brown's got himself back up to 5th position. He's trying to work with Tom Johnson. These 5, you can fit them under a blanket. Zunema doing everything he can, and Harrison Chandler gets loose. They keep it straight. Zunema had an opportunity on the outside, didn't get it. That's going to heat up Chandler's tires, though. Tom Johnson trying to look to the inside of Billy Wise. Not going to make it happen. Chandler doing everything he can to hold off Travis Zunema. Coming out of turn number 4. 10 more laps to go for these drivers. Give it up. Who do you think's going to win? Harrison Chandler, Travis Zunema, or are these both going to have Billy Wise take a 2-time win streak here in Simability? They catch Ronald Lyons coming out of turn number 4. That's going to slow up Chandler. Zunema's going to get the bottom line. Chandler's going to close the door on him. Zunema pushing that car for everything he's got. Don't get too low and catch that apron. It'll really ruin your day, but he's really all over the bumper. Sending it in really hard in turn number 1. Not sure if that's actually going to get the job done. Unless Chandler gets a little loose, he might be able to take this one. Andrew Smith, and a caution flag comes out with 6 more laps to go. 3 cars backwards in turn number 4. And that is going to make this happen so much faster. Zunema going to be on the outside. Billy Wise in 3rd on the inside. Unless we get some guys... Let's see what happened. Andrew Smith, Brian Lowhead, and Ronald Lyons. Looks like it's going to be a lap car incident. Lyons gets loose in front of Smith, sends him up in front of Lowhead, and Kiefer barely gets by. But now we're going to have a very short, probably green-white checkered, if not a 3-lap shootout for these drivers. Harrison Chandler currently in lead. Oh, man, we still got Jacob Van backwards on the front straightaway. Not sure what was going on there. We got Harrison Chandler currently in the lead. Travis Zunema putting up a hard-fought 2nd place. Billy Wise holding on to 3rd, doing a great job in that number 32 machine. Tom Johnson, Mr. Consistency, with Koneman all the way down there in 15th. Johnson holding on to 4th. And Dalton Brown having a great run, currently running in the 5th position. But Travis Zunema in that number 90 machine up 11 places from where he started this race at. Hoping to make it 12 and get that one more spot. It is going to be, I believe, a green-white checkered when we go back racing. So we do have one more attempt at a green-white checkered if we get a caution before that white flag comes out. I'm sure we got one more green-white attempt. But all eyes are going to be on this man right here, Harrison Chandler, newcomer to Simability Racing League, running the number 29 machine and making sparks fly here at the All-Star Challenge race number 1. Round 4 for the Simability Racing League. 20 races are scheduled. We are only on round number 4. If you're interested in getting into it, make sure you check out simability.com. Look at the link for Simability Racing League. I'd like to give a shout out to all you guys. Thanks for coming out here tonight. We are live on JP Broadcasting, and if it is your first time here, make sure you hit subscribe, like the video, make sure you talk to us in the comments, and as always, hit that notification bell so that way you know every single time we go live here on JP Broadcasting. And right now, it's going to be the hottest part of the night, coming to a green-white checkered finish. Harrison Chandler, Travis Zunema, 1-2. Who is going to be able to take the final few laps? The lights are off on the pace car. It's going to be on the number 29. Can Zunema hold on? The 29's off, and Billy Wise Gonna look to the inside of Zunima. Green flag in the air. Billy Wise takes that spot from Travis Zunima. Caution flag. We're gonna get one more go. Caution flag is on the Speedway. It looks like Chris Roberge. Green flag is out. And he comes right down into Johnny Berardi, and that's going to spin him out. Oh. And no. No, that is going to be the green-white checkered that we have. I believe I'm being told that is the checkered flag. And if that's the checkered flag, Harrison Chandler is going to be our winner. Whoa, I thought we had one more. And as you see it up there in the top right-hand corner, or left-hand corner, the checkered flag is out. And that's going to be it. What a drive for these drivers. I thought we had one more chance. But no, we do not. Let's go back and take a look at that restart one more time. What a drive by these drivers. Wow. These guys really put on a show for you guys tonight. I hope you really enjoyed it. I know I did. Here we go. Watch this restart. It's going to decide the race one last time. Chandler gets on it hard. And there's the caution flag coming out. Chandler, Wise, and Zunima. Taking home the cut. And with that, we're going to take a look at your race results for this evening. These guys really, really put it down. I tell you what, this was a fabulous race. Harrison Chandler coming out with the win. Travis Zuderman at number 90. I cannot wait to talk to him. He had a great run. Almost held that number 29 machine off. But too little, too late, as he's going to come home P3. Tom Johnson, Mr. Consistency, is going to take home 4th position. Dalton Brown, with a great run, is going to come home in 5th. Johnny Berardi in 6th. Bobby Wise takes home a 7th position. Great run for that number 14. Andrew Smith in 8th. Thomas Wise, 9th. Stephen Kiefer rounds out our top 10. Chris Roberge finishes 11th. Jacob Van 12th. Brian Lowhead, after having such a great run up front, finishes in 13th position. Ronald Lyons, 14th. Don Koneman, 15th. And Daniel Cook is going to round out our field. And now, we only got one more thing to do, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to pull your podium drivers up into the booth and get their take on it. And the first driver that we're going to be talking to has gotta be beating himself up at least a little bit. Travis Zunima, what a drive you put down this evening, man. It was, you were fast, you had the lead for a while. What was going through your head on that last restart before you fell back behind Billy Wise. You had the lead. You were up front. They had 20 lap newer tires. What were you gonna do?
Well, I was just gonna try to keep him behind me as best as I could. I'd see him getting a good run, and he kind of get close or whatever. So, but my car just kind of kept pushing up. I couldn't keep it down on the bottom where I wanted to, and it just he kind of got down there, and that's that. That's all right. It was a lot of fun coming from the back to the front. Yeah, real fast car. A lot of good racing.
So what you gained yourself 10 positions. So you got your fastest your most positions gained point, and you definitely gained quite a few points on top of your I think it is 14 points you gained this evening. What kind of momentum is that going to bring to you going forward through the season? We're only 4 races in so far. So what is that going to bring to you going forward?
Well, it's just trying to keep the momentum going forward. I mean since the start of the season, I've finished pretty good. I mean, I've had a couple bad races where I've had this like bad luck. Like I've always had good cars, and something caught me up. That got me towards the back towards the end of the race. But we'll just keep it going one race at a time. And I mean, I like the modifieds. They're fun cars.
Yeah, they definitely are fun, and they're so much fun to watch. Now, Billy Wise, he took the win last week. He was right there on your tail. You know that he's in here all the time. Is there different things that you learn from these different drivers like Billy who you run next to all the time, or is it more you just kind of go and you just have to try to get around them, or do you figure out little things that you can work at try to get around? We seen with at 29 you tried to get around him a few times, and resistance was definitely there. He knew how to block your line. What do you have to do with these drivers to really get around them when they got that same skill level as you?
Well, I mean, you got to do what I, don't necessarily like to do, but it's part of racing. You just got to give them that little nudge. Move them out of the way a little bit. But I don't like to race like that. But yeah, he went down there and blocked me, and I could have bumped him, but I didn't want to cause a wreck because the way he came down in the run I had, it probably would have turned him into the wall. So I try to race smarter. Long run, long season. So
Well, it was
race smart.
definitely a good, clean race for you. You picked up some great points for the All Star Challenge series. You picked up some great points for the regular season. Who do you got to thank for this third place finish tonight?
Oh, I gotta thank everybody, man. All the wise guys, man, to help, put all this together and help, Don with all the help with all the setups. Simability for the whole thing even being possible, and my main man Rob up in the booth, letting the whole world know what goes on here.
Well, we appreciate it. Travis, live it up, man. You almost had that win tonight, but P3 is still a pretty awesome spot, pretty respectable position. We look forward to seeing you next week. You take care.
Sounds good, buddy. You too.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your second place finisher. Tough break for Travis Zuma. They're in, third position. We're going to pull up our second place finisher tonight, and I know this man is grinning from ear to ear with the finish that he just laid down. Billy Wise in that number 32 machine. Billy, what a run tonight. We seen you hanging back. We seen you giving places away. We seen you really biding your time, and you somehow come out and take P2 away from Travis Zunema, who was trying so hard to get that lead back. Tell us about your race. How was it?
Man, I felt bad for Travis too because I really couldn't catch him or Harrison, and he had a bad restart, and I had to go, so he lost that spot. But we'll definitely take it. But the race was great, man. We've had some speed. Friday night practice, Monday night practice. Both Travis and I were fast, so we felt really good for at least the top 5 tonight.
Yeah, and it looked like you were falling back just a little bit, and you could tell it wasn't a speed thing. It was just like, I'm going to let you go because you are driving like crazy right now. And it seemed to work. You seemed to let the guys go that were somewhat causing issues, kind of driving erratically on track. And you kind of stayed in front of the guys that were having issues spinning out and wrecking on track. And it really puts you in a great position to be in a good spot with that track position when you needed it. Now, the big thing that we were talking about was tires. We've seen guys pitting all over the place. Harrison Chandler had pit on lap number 65, and yourself, Zudema, and Johnson had pit 20 laps before that. So how does that really wear on you? Did the tires seem to really make that much of a difference from 20 laps on, or was it more of a long stint kind of thing?
I think it was more of a long stint kind of thing. Um, yeah, when we pitted, we weren't even thinking, bro. It was about halfway, and we forgot it was 125 laps. So we went with the same game plan as last week. Is if there's a caution right around halfway, we'll go ahead and bring it in and take tires. And so we did that, and then we remembered, oh, it's 125 laps. So I don't know if it worked out for us or against us, because I think we did pit one more time after that. But we just made our way up front slowly but surely. Like you said, let the crazy guys go, and it worked out for us this week.
Well, it was a great run. You got some really awesome points towards the All-Star Challenge Series. Second place in points. That's going to score you 15 points towards that. That's definitely going to help you out. And then with your win last week, piling on a P2 this week, that's almost 35 points, if almost 40 points gained in the last 2 weeks towards the championship. How is that making you feel about your championship contention? Because you were not too far out last season, but towards the end of the season, you were a little too far to get up there. But now you're putting in some consistent finishes at the beginning of the season. Can you carry this momentum all the way through and possibly be fighting Koneman and Johnson and Zudema for this championship?
Yeah, I think so. If we keep it clean, we got some good momentum going on now. I did want to shout out that Don had internet issues tonight, so that really, oof, he had to leave and turn his computer off, fire it back up, all that good stuff. So he went many, many laps down, and that was a bummer. And last week he had a rough race. So we're getting a little bit lucky with Don having bad luck, but we're gonna try to just keep the momentum going and shoot for some top fives.
Yeah, we saw he went 17 laps down, and we had kind of figured that maybe he forgot to check a fast repair or something after that incident, and something may have happened. But it sounds like internet connection issues plaguing the fast guy in these SKs. So that definitely helps. It's like having a fast guy with a motor problem. It starts bogging you down, and you can't make it. So a great run for you, Billy. Next week is going to be a total game changer, because next week we're going to Iowa, which is like a big Richmond. How do you feel about going to Iowa with these two? Do you think you can put it on the podium one more time?
And it's gonna be fun. I haven't been there in this car, but I remember doing some good races there with some other cars, and it's a fun track and kind of wide and big, long. Yeah, if we can get spread out, man, we're going top three, baby.
Definitely going to be a drafting track. Definitely going to be a line track, but definitely going to be a full throttle track, which is going to make for some really awesome and interesting racing. Anybody you got to thank for this P2 tonight, Billy?
Oh, we got to give out a shout out to Glenn Sidman there at Simability. Just builds great stuff, really good stuff. Simability.com and ASF Action Sports Foundation. Check them out too.
Well, there you have it. Billy Wise brings home P2. It wasn't the back-to-back win that I'm sure he was hoping for, but nonetheless, one great finish. And now we get to welcome someone brand new into our broadcast booth. First time seeing him here on the racetrack here in Simability, and the first time here winning in Victory Lane. Harrison Chandler, how did that end of the race work out for you?
Oh my god, I don't even know, man. I'm worn out. I came across this league just like a couple of days ago, and I was really fond with the title of the race. Title of the league, because I'm high functionally autistic. I've got Tourette's, and I've been through probably the worst year and like 3 months of my life mentally. Like, it's been nothing but mental hell for me. So I thought, hey, I almost didn't run it. Like, there's I'm it's very complicated, but it's pretty much got to do with everything. Like, I've just mental anxiety has taken over me for over a year now, and I almost didn't do this race. And while I was doing it, I felt like complete crap the whole time. Like, I almost I came so close to just quitting mid race because I almost couldn't take it. But whew, god dang, glad I did it, because I almost screwed myself over with taking 2 tires. I thought I kind of underestimated the competition. Like, um, the main guy that I was concerned about wrecked on lap 1, and that was a BS 4X, by the way. Like, I didn't hit him at all, and it still gave me a netcode 4X. That was my only incident of the race. I'm kind of annoyed about that, but if that's the only incident of the race, I call that a win. But thought I screwed up taking them dang 2 tires in the second to last restart, because I thought, I'm gonna play it safe. I didn't take it during the first pit stop, so I didn't. So I wanted to make sure I kept it safe or something like that. But that's when Travis came along, and he wasn't gonna move over for me. And not gonna lie, I was pretty surprised by his pace. Um, but I loved every second of it. That battle, um, that battle made me forget the whole um almost quitting thing. Like, that completely. I was 100% committed at that point.
And that's the beautiful thing about Simability Racing League, is that we have drivers of all different abilities. So you see some drivers riding around in the back, and they are literally working their butts off. We've got drivers with one hand, we've got drivers with no feet, we've got drivers that race with joysticks because they can't even use 2 hands. We've got a whole wide range of people, and they all come here and have good, hard, clean, fun, tight racing. And I tell you what, watching the battle between you and Travis Zudema for those last 25 laps got everybody standing up and on the edge of their seats, because it was a sight to see. And the way you explained it, that's all what Simability is about, is being there for everybody that needs us to be there, and offering a place for you to go to feel safe and feel welcome, and forget all of your worries, even if it is for 2 hours in a week. So I'm glad you showed up. We're glad you come here to race. Hopefully we see more of you. You got a good win on you, the first race here with Simability. Your first win. Who do you got to thank for this?
Well, I mean, I can't even begin to describe. I mean, first of all, biggest sympathies and prayers for my dog Lovey. I've had her for almost 9 years. Mid March should be like 9 years, but I mean, I got her when I was 4 damn months old, and I thought she'd last at least a decade, but literally just a couple days before Christmas, I found out that she's got bone cancer to her left leg, and most likely she's probably only got, I don't know, maybe a month left or something. But I've dealt with dogs dying in the past, but not for almost a decade, and it's it's hard seeing her limping with that dang leg up in the air every single time I see her. Also, there's been a lot of support. Yesterday was my little nephew's birthday. Happy birthday, happy 5th birthday, Jackson. Then 2 days before that was my dad's birthday. Happy God, how old is he? 63, I think. I don't even know, man. Thanks to everyone who's past, current, and future supported me, whether it be my racing career, my mental health, yada yada, etc. My parents. I mean, I just to think, like, back in August, I couldn't run iRacing at all because of my anxiety, and it was hard to start with. It was hard, admittedly, to run this race, but I felt determined to do it, and I'm so glad I did. And thanks to my parents, almost 5 whole years, about, I think, May 26th, so I've got a few months to go, but almost reaching that 5-year mark on iRacing, and that's just because my parents have supported me. My rig, got a new computer in April because my last one was kicking the bucket. And much respect to all competitors out here. You aren't alone with your struggles. I have to deal with hell literally every day. So, I don't know, DM me if you need to talk or something like that. And if I believe that's it.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. The winner, first race here with Simability, grabs the win. The number 29, Harrison Chandler. A very, very emotional win for him, and that's exactly what we're all about here, is to be there for one another and have a great time. One more time, let's take a look at your race results here for the Simability Racing League. And it looks like they do not want to pop up for us anymore. So it looks like we are going to have to say goodbye. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out and joining us here live on JP Broadcasting here on YouTube. We had a great time here in the Simability Racing League. Round number 4 in the books. Harrison Chandler takes a fantastic win over Billy Wise and Travis Zudema. For everybody here, thanks for coming. Make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell. We want to see you guys come back for future broadcasts, future races, where all the action is going to be right here. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you can get it. For everybody else, take care, and we will see you next time.